What are you seeing at this convention that makes you more optimistic than you've been about politics in a while?
I'm just, look, it's two distinct differences. It's unity. This is about, unions stand for solidarity, and what you see in this convention, you see unity. You see diversity. You see everyone out there. It's a great vibe. It's a great energy. And people from every walk of life are out there, and it's a celebration. And it's people coming together for a common cause, because this ticket has two people at the top that know what it is to serve people, to serve others. They spend a lifetime doing it. The other ticket has people that serve themselves, and that's all they care about. They don't care about unity. They preach division. They sow division, and that does not work for this country. So I think it's just amazing to see that here and just see the unity among people.
You're talking about unity in the hall. What about unity within your union on this?
You bet. No. It's look. A great majority of our members are going to vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I mean, that's who our members want to see. They know who stands for them. I mean, you're always going to have people that are going to vote the other way over, single issues, whatever. That's just normal. But a huge majority of our workers, they're going to be there for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. We're going to win Michigan.
So, there you have him, explaining why the Harris-Walz ticket is better than the Trump-Vance ticket, which I think we all agree with everything he said there, right? And what's interesting is that I don't know if this was the plan all along. I don't think it organically happened, to be quite honest with you, but that message of unity is very much real.
Yeah.
Right? Something weird happened during this event. Cenk and I had just finished having breakfast. We left and we were just kind of standing and waiting for an Uber to bring us to the venue. And some guy came up to us. I got a feeling that he was like a conservative. And he's like, hey, so what do you think? You think the party's unified? And it sounded like he was trying to bait us to say something against the idea that the different factions of the Democratic Party are uniting. And Cenk was like, yeah, I think so. And then we just kind of ignored him because we didn't know who he was, and we were worried that he was like a provocateur or some sort.
Yeah, and you don't know for sure that you don't know what angle the question's coming from anyway. You can suspect, but yeah.
Say hello. He just kind of interrupted our conversation to ask that one question. But anyway, my point is, what do you think about everyone in the party unifying? Do you get the sense that that's happening?
I mean, I don't know if there's ever been an election where everybody unified. Any ticket is going to appeal to certain groups more than others on certain topics more than others. I think the goal is that you get as many of your potential voters to support you as possible and to turn out as possible. And I think that if you want to compare how that's looking right now or how it's likely to look with this ticket in 70-ish days versus where we'd be at if Biden was still the nominee, I mean, we can certainly do that. And I don't think it's difficult to draw some lessons already. In terms of whether everyone will unify, no, almost certainly not. I mean, we can talk about even just here at the DNC, not everyone's unified. We know the uncommitted movement, they wanted a speaker, they clearly didn't get a speaker. So no, not everybody's unified. And there's gonna be some people who, believe the portrayal of Kamala Harris and Walz as being like too liberal or whatever, like some really conservative Democrats will have a problem with that. But I don't think that they're gonna have any kind of particular problem with unity. I think that they have excitement. I think that is the opposite of disunity.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I see unity on. The unity in being excited about Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee. The fact that we actually have a fighting chance to beat Donald Trump, whereas previously with Biden, it seemed like the writing was on the wall. So I totally understand it. And look, there are people who might not necessarily be into the nitty-gritty of policy debates and the differences between the various factions within the Democratic Party. There are a lot of voters who are just excited about being able to cast a ballot for someone who might potentially make history, right? As the first Black female president.
Yeah, either for that reason or for some, it will just be against Donald Trump and it wouldn't matter. But also, even those sorts of people could still be more likely to vote with her, because you could be motivated almost entirely by wanting to get rid of Donald Trump. But if you don't think it's going to happen, then you might not turn out.
Well, to that point, Genocide Joe writes in our member section and says, I worry that the next 4 years is going to be nonstop talking about how it could have been worse under Trump, while literally nothing gets better and probably gets even worse. And look, I sympathize with that perspective. And it's not like that perspective is just cynical for no reason. We have recent history to inform that kind of take. And we want to believe that no, this time it might be different. And well, go ahead.
No, sorry, continue. I don't mean to
And I think that there are some things that we can look to see or to argue that this time things might be a little different. Like Walz as a VP pick is a good example, right? I did not think Kamala Harris was going to pick Tim Walz as her VP pick, and I was shocked that she did. I was on vacation at the time, and I was just like, oh my God, I did not think this was going to happen. This is awesome. But then also, yesterday, John, we had Adam Green on the show, and he was telling us about how Kamala Harris's team has been hiring some pretty progressive individuals as her economic advisors. Okay. That's a good sign if, the economic elements of the Democratic Party is what is appealing to you.
Yeah.
And so there are reasons to believe that maybe things will be a little different this time around. But on the other side of that argument is the same corporate donors exist. The Hoffmans, who have donated a lot of money to Kamala Harris and have been open about how they want her to do away with Lina Khan, the head of the FTC, who's been a fighter, a warrior in enforcing antitrust laws to prevent monopolies from occurring. And so, look, it's really hard to tell. Obviously, we're all predicting, but I just want to say, I understand your cynicism. And so these are the choices we have ahead of us.
Yeah, you throw in a lot there. I didn't know that about the advisors. That's good to hear, especially because there's lots of moves you can make to try to get the voters to think you're something you're not. Hiring advisors is a little bit inside baseball for it to be cover, really.
Totally, yeah.
I mean, it could be theoretically, or maybe you're trying to win over other people who are more tapped into what's going on. But I buy that more than just a statement. I also think, look, in terms of just being told, shut up, it could be worse, Donald Trump could be president. I don't feel like that's how the last 4 years were. I feel like people criticized Joe Biden. I don't think they were generally told, shut up, it could have been better.
Yeah.
Now,
That's a really good point.
This could be a new time where maybe they do rely on that more. But I just think, look, no matter what, she is not going to be some perfect version of the best case scenario for Kamala Harris. It's just not going to happen because she's human, because she's a Democrat who got elected, and because the Republicans are still going to exist. And so that's just not going to happen. But she could be good. And I think there's a lot of reasons to believe that she's likely to be better than Joe Biden. And that's even before we get to the economic proposals that she's already put out, the choosing Tim Walz. Just in general, she has a more liberal voting record. There is very good reason to believe that she will just naturally be more liberal. But also the signals she's put out so far have been almost entirely good, at least on economic topics.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.